gaining pre-COVID pace back and advancing forward. In pursuance of keeping the youth force motivated and determined to come forward for the sake of developing the nation and the country, we are gathered here on this occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, we are indeed honored and privileged. His Excellency Muhammad Abdul Hamid, Honorable President of Bangladesh, will grace the occasion as chief guest. In this auspicious occasion, we are delighted to have as special guest Dr. A.K. Abdul Momen, MP, Honorable Foreign Minister, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Abdullah Al Islam Jacob, MP, Honorable President, Standing Committee, Ministry of Youth and Sports, and Mr. Taha Ayhan, Honorable President, Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum. Bangabandhu Global Youth Leadership Award will be chaired by Honorable State Minister, Ministry of Youth and Sports, Government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, Mr. Mohammad Zahid Hassan Russell, MP. We also have with us Senior Secretary, Ministry of Youth and Sports, Government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, Mr. Muhammad Akhtar Hussain. Ladies and gentlemen, the chief guest of today's program, Honorable President of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, His Excellency Muhammad Abdul Hamid, will be joining us shortly. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, you're requested to please rise on arrival of the Honorable President of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, His Excellency Muhammad Abdul Hamid. Ladies and gentlemen, the chief guest of today's program, Honorable President of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, His Excellency Muhammad Abdul Hamid, will be joining us shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable President of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, His Excellency Mr. Muhammad Abdul Hamid. Ladies and gentlemen, the chief guest of today's program, Honorable President of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, His Excellency Mr. Muhammad Abdul Hamid. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. With permission from the Honorable President, we will start our program. At the very outset, recitation from the verses of the Holy Quran. Qari Muhammad Hafizul Haq.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اصبروا وصابروا ورابطوا واتقوا الله لعلكم تفلحون. صدق الله العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم. সূরা নিসা ২০ নম্বর তেলাওয়াতকৃত আয়াতের বঙ্গানুবাদ। হে মুমিনগণ, পুরুষ কিংবা নারী, তোমরা ধৈর্য ধারণ করো। ধৈর্যের এ কাজে একে অপরের সাথে প্রতিযোগিতা করো। অপর পক্ষের মোকাবেলায় সুদৃঢ় থেকো। একমাত্র মহান আল্লাহকেই স্মরণ করো। আশা করা যায় এভাবেই তোমরা সফল কাম হতে পারবে। The message from Allah: Oh, you who believe, persevere in patience and constancy. Why? In such perseverance, strengthen each other and fear Allah that you may prosper. Thank you. بارك الله لنا ولكم في القرآن العظيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Thank you very much indeed, Qari Muhammad Hafizul Haq. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, now address of welcome. May I have the pleasure to call upon Mr. Muhammad Akhtar Hussain, Senior Secretary, Ministry of Youth and Sports, Government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, to please introduce today's event with his welcome speech. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Muhammad Akhtar Hussain.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Today's chief guest, His Excellency Mr. Muhammad Abdul Hamid, Honorable President of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, Chair of today's program, His Excellency Mr. Muhammad Zahid Hassan Russell MP, Honorable State Minister, Ministry of Youth and Sports, Government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh. Today's special guests, His Excellency Dr. A.K. Abdul Momen MP, Honorable Minister, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh. His Excellency Mr. Abdullah Al Islam Jacob MP, Honorable Chairman, Parliamentary Standing Committee on the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and His Excellency Mr. Taha Ihan, Honorable President, Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum, distinguished guests, representatives of print and electronic media, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, and a very good afternoon to you all. First of all, I would like to pay my deepest gratitude and homage to the greatest Bengali of all times, our father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the icon of youth, under whose undisputed visionary leadership we got our coveted independence. I would also like to recall and pay my deepest respect to all freedom fighters who participated and sacrificed their lives for our independence. Honorable President of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, His Excellency Mr. Muhammad Abdul Hamid, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all to today's international opening program of Bangabandhu Global Youth Leadership Award 2020, one of the most important events of Dhaka OIC Youth Capital 2020. Distinguished guests, it is a great recognition for Bangladesh as we won the coveted OIC Youth Capital 2020 by proving our merit in matters related to innovation, sports, culture, and inclusive youth leadership. It marks a significant recognition for the dynamic and determined leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina and her spirited government in the youth sector. The ICOF, Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum, and OIC affiliate made this declaration on 25th December 2019. We were expected to launch the event sequence in April 2020, but the COVID-19 pushed us back, and we have remodeled and relaunched ourselves on the web platform. Ladies and gentlemen, Bangladesh joined OIC in 1974 under the prudential leadership of the father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, and since then it has been playing instrumental role in different activities of OIC and promote the common interests of Muslim Ummah in different international fora. The OIC Youth Capital 2020 is an important program for not only the OIC and ICOF, but also for Bangladesh. It coincides with the birth centenary of the father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. The event is also significant to us in this year as we will be celebrating Golden Jubilee, that is 50th anniversary of our independence. Distinguished guests, the name of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman holds a paramount importance to us. Without his birth, his rise in politics and relentless struggle for the people's rights, the independence of Bangladesh would not have emerged. The people of Bangladesh had dreamed a free land for a long. It was Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman who had completed this task like a great architect. He had united and led the youth and people of all classes with his long 23 years movement for equal rights and democracy, and even he got imprisonment for about 14 years to establish the rights of the people. Under his charismatic leadership, the dream of being an independent country was finally achieved on 16th December 1971, after a long 9 months liberation war. Since the independence, Bangabandhu started to rebuild the nation and try to make the country as Sonar Bangla, which means a happy and prosperous nation free from hunger, poverty, corruption, illiteracy, and ignorance. Our Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina is committed to take Bangladesh forward through the path of prosperity which was dreamed by Bangabandhu. Under her prudent, dynamic, and visionary leadership, we are already become a middle-income country in this year. Now Bangladesh is committed to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals within 2030 and Vision 2041 to become a developed country by 2041. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, to encourage and recognize the outstanding contributions of youth of Bangladesh, OIC member states and beyond, the Bangabandhu Global Youth Leadership Award 2020 will be given under the Dhaka OIC Youth Capital 2020 program. Its objectives are to provide the youth an opportunity to learn about the great leader Bangabandhu, let the youth around the Muslim world know about Bangabandhu's contribution towards Islam and world politics, inspire the youth around the world to learn from the life story of Bangabandhu. The best way to show respect to Bangabandhu is to follow his thoughts through our endeavors. In fact, Bangabandhu Global Youth Leadership Award is the exhibition of our love and respect towards Bangabandhu and to the youth. To acknowledge the courageous efforts and accomplishments of the youth, Bangabandhu Global Youth Leadership Award 2020 will be given in 5 categories. These are innovation, climate response, humanitarianism, sports, culture and arts, and entrepreneurship. Bangabandhu Global Youth Leadership Award 2020 is going to be a suitable platform to exhibit the excellence and leadership capacity of youth around the globe. Through this event, youth around the world will get to acquire knowledge about the culture, context, and communities of each other, and will be able to apply the knowledge in their personal and professional lives. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to express my heartfelt thanks and gratitude to Honorable President of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, His Excellency, Mr. Muhammad Abdul Hamid, for his kind presence. I would also like to express my gratitude to Honorable Ministers, Honorable President of ICOF, distinguished guests who are with us at today's program in this pandemic situation. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Joy Bangla, Joy Bangabandhu. May Bangladesh live forever. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Senior Secretary Mr. Muhammad Akhtar Hussain, for your warm welcome address. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have the privilege to call upon our special guest, Mr. Taha Ayhan, President of Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum, to please share his thoughts with us. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Taha Ayhan.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, my warm greetings to all, but especially for the special guests of this wonderful ceremony. Today's chief guests, by participating, honoring our program, the Honorable President of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, His Excellency Mohammed Abdul Hamid. The special guests, Honorable Minister of Road of Transports and Bridges, Ubaidullah Kadir Bey. The special guest, Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Abdul Mumin Bey, the Member of Parliament. Today's Chair of the ceremony, State Minister of Youth and Sports, Mr. Zahid Hassan Rusal Bey, the Member of Parliament. The Senior Secretary, Minister of Youth and Sports, Mr. Mohammed Akhtar Hussain Bey. Dignitaries from different ministries, foreign delegates, youth representatives, participants, and distinguished guests. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And very good morning to you all from the beautiful capital city of Tatarstan of Russian Federation, city of Kazan. It's a great pleasure for me to welcome you to the Bangabandhu Global Youth Leadership Award ceremony under the Dhaka Youth Chapter, especially in the presence of Honorable President Abdul Hamid Bey. I am most delighted that you have joined us today. I would like to extend my warm greetings to you once again, and I highly appreciate the efforts of all those who have done their best to make this fantastic event happen. Bangladesh is a country with abundant potentials and opportunities. The human capital of the country is known worldwide as very industrious and prosperous. The key component of this huge amount of efficient human capital is its youth demography. One third of the total population of the country is youth, and which is also a notable number among the entire youth population that ICYF works. This year, Bangladesh is celebrating the golden jubilee of the independence and birth centenary of the father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. In a year of such significance, on behalf of Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum, ICYF, I want to say that we are really proud and happy to have Dhaka as the OIC Youth Capital 2020 and organize several mega events engaging the youth of Bangladesh and the world, and have an opportunity to spread the message and they share the beauty of Dhaka with the whole world. It's a great honor for us to organize such an event, naming after one of the greatest leaders in the history of the world, and that too with the participation of youth around the world. Through this event, we are hopeful to have a positive impact on the lives of the participating youth, and through their leadership skills, we will be having a better world to live in. Dear ladies, dear gentlemen, dear sisters and brothers, youth development is a process that prepares young people to meet the challenges of adolescence and adulthood and achieve their full potential. Regarding youth development, I would say education is a crucial factor affecting the young people's lives. Young people have first-hand experience of the very education challenges discussed at the global meetings, and I would like to participate in the decisions that shape their future. Broadening spaces for youth voices to shape the decisions made about their education is vital. Beyond this, education should facilitate social interaction where learners are at the center in designing the learning process. Education must inspire curiosity and encourage exploration in learners, also by teaching essential values of global citizenship to learners, such as empathy, resilience, and diversity. It is possible to connect to the heart of learners and empower them to take responsibility as active citizens. Meaningful youth engagement in shaping and delivering education is also critical today. A make it or break it factor will determine how effective and efficient the transformation process will be. We need collaboration, empathy, and teamwork to transform education, and young people play an essential role in creating an agile, sustainable, and lifelong education system that addresses the needs of the future. The success of maintain and educate populace over time. Therefore, we need the connection and experience of young people to recreate the educational experience to meet the demands of today and future. Empowering more youth to join the teaching profession will go a long way to improve quality education, promote inclusion, and ensure equity in education, particularly in underrepresented communities. Finally, suppose we provide a sustainable solution to education in a rapidly changing world. In that case, we need to leverage youth-led innovations and assistive technologies that will transform the learning environment for every child. At this point, this project within the program of Dhaka Youth Capital would be highly appropriate for our mission because it will provide the youth from the OIC regions and beyond a highly effective forum to showcase their knowledge and skills, as well as to inspire them to connect with the youth around the world. The program's objective is to enable young peoples to exhibit their knowledge on specific and general issues, help them grow as more self-confident individuals, and encourage them to learn more deeply about their country's history and culture. This program will also provide the global youth an opportunity to learn about the life of Bangabandhu, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, and get inspired to build their lives based on his ideology. Because he is the founder of a sovereign Bangladesh, and how proud it is that young people see him as a role model. I believe that this program will be one of the most successful programs held under the Dhaka Youth Chapter. Also, I want to underscore that the success of expanding the education network of Bangladesh within the country, and this is a result of tireless efforts of the government under the leadership of Her Excellency Prime Minister and His Excellency President. As a leader of the OIC Youth, I want to express my thanks by using this availability. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, all the program we have been through earned our society hundreds of talented youth, have us to discover those young brothers and sisters. For that reason, we will continue to realize our mission and our goals as we have been doing from the very first day firmly. Before concluding my speech, I wish best of luck to all the participants who will join and contribute this program in different categories like innovation, climate response, humanitarianism, sports, culture and arts, and entrepreneurship. And it's my deepest wish that we will do our best to bring out limitless potential found in our youth and make them live the future they deserve. While reiterating my profound thanks to you all, I pray to Allah the Almighty to grant us success in our new programs and projects, which will undoubtedly serve the youth of the Ummah effectively. I want to thank all distinguished guests, honorable delegates, youth representatives, organizers, and everyone who joined. I want to express my appreciation, thanks, profound thanks to His Excellency President Abdul Hamid. Thank you for your kind consideration and patience and attention. Thank you very much. Masalam. Salam.
Thank you very much indeed, our special guest, Mr. Taha Ayhan, for gracing the occasion with your kind words. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, may I have the pleasure to invite our special guest, Honorable Minister, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, Dr. A.K. Abdul Momen MP, to please share a few kind words with us. Honorable Foreign Minister, Dr. A.K. Abdul Momen MP. Honorable Minister, you need to unmute your microphone. Honorable Minister, may I have your attention, please? You need to unmute your microphone. Thank you.
Unmute.
Thank you, sir.
Hello?
Done, sir.
Do you hear me? Do you hear me?
Sir, we can hear you, sir.
Okay, thank you. না শুরু থেকে না বিসমিল্লাহ রহমান রহিম His Excellency Mr. Muhammad Abdul Hamid, Honorable President, People's Republic of Bangladesh. His Excellency Mr. Muhammad Zahid Ahsan Russell, MP, Honorable Minister of State, Ministry of Youth and Sports. His Excellency Abdullah Al Jacob, MP, Honorable Chair, Parliamentary Standing Committee. His Excellency Mr. Taha Ayhan, Honorable President, Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum. Distinguished guests, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is a privilege and honor to be present at this august moment and to congratulate you on the inauguration ceremony of the Bangabandhu Global Youth Leadership Award. Bangladesh was chosen as the OIC Youth Capital 2020, which overlaps with two of the greatest celebrations of our era, the birth centenary of the father of our nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman in 2020, and the golden jubilee of our glorious war of liberation in 2021. The year-long programs of the OIC Youth Capital are helping to foster cooperation among the member states in the field of youth policy, as well as enhancing solidarity among Muslim youth. Distinguished guests, youths consisting of 60% of the Muslim Ummah embody not only the dreams of today, but also the aspirations of tomorrow. But for a long time, their voices remain unheard. I would like to extend my appreciation to ICYF for creating a unique platform for Muslim youths for declaring Dhaka as OIC Youth Capital 2020. I thank the organizers for giving this award in the name of our father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, who remains an icon for youth, vigor, hope, and vitality. He was a youthful soul who dreamed of building his Sonar Bangla, a prosperous nation, together with the youths of Bangladesh. Bangladesh, since its joining the OIC under the visionary leadership of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, and especially under the government of Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, has always had great hopes about a self-reliant OIC. This dream can only be realized by harnessing the power of youth of the Muslim Ummah. Ladies and gentlemen, once David Frost, a British journalist, asked Bangabandhu, and I quote, "What is your greatest strength?" He replied, "I love my people." When he was asked, "What is his greatest weakness?" he replied, "I love my people too much." Bangabandhu had stood like a solid rock for justice, for love for humanity, and the common people had been his strength, his support, and his spirit. His life reflects his unshakable love and desire for the progress and welfare of the nation and its people. We are introducing the Bangabandhu Global Youth Leadership Award for the youth of today who are making outstanding contributions in the field of innovation, environment, humanitarianism, sports, culture, arts, and entrepreneurship. The youth leaders participating in today's event were among the first responders during this pandemic situation. You were engaged in relief work, facilitating medical support, providing transport facilities to the patients and the healthcare workers when others did not dare to do so. Your noble work certainly gave hope to the nation, to the world. Your voluntary work testifies that the youth will come forward in every crisis the nation will face, as they did during our war of liberation. We are passing through an unprecedented time due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Humanity is learning to adapt itself in this new world order. Not only is our health sector impacted by this pandemic, but as a natural fallout, the world is facing economic turmoil. The UN has estimated that the global economy is expected to lose nearly 8.5 trillion US dollars in output over the next 2 years. The pandemic is a stark reminder that our fates are interconnected and that no one is safe until everyone is safe. In Bangladesh, we from the very beginning have put equal emphasis on the lives and livelihood of our people. Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's government announced 31-point directives after the detection of COVID-19 cases. Stimulus packages worth more than 1.24 trillion taka, equivalent to around 4.4% of GDP, have been rolled out. Just before the pandemic situation, Bangladesh had achieved the enviable GDP growth rate of 8.15%, highest in the world. Even during the presence of COVID-19, Bangladesh achieved an annual GDP growth rate of 5.4%, which is highest in South Asia during the pandemic. Our success in overriding the crisis is largely due to our investment in food security, women empowerment, agriculture, developing skilled manpower, digital Bangladesh, and providing adequate social safety nets. Ensuring availability of quality seeds, fertilizers, and uninterrupted power for irrigation boosted our agricultural growth, making food available at an affordable price. Bangladesh is now globally in the third position in terms of production of rice and second in cultivation of freshwater fish. We provide different kinds of social protection support to more than 9.5 million people of different ages and genders. Only recently, Bangladesh received the Sustainable Development Goal Progress Award of 2015 to 2020 for our continued achievement. Distinguished guests, we are a lucky nation who has a majority of youth population. A country with such a vibrant population is bound to have a bright future, which will ensure the achievement of the dream of our father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, of a Sonar Bangla, a golden Bengal, where poverty, illiteracy, discrimination, and hunger will be a thing of the past. The challenges of today's world can only be overcome by our self-acting efforts. I believe our young leaders, with their collective and self-acting efforts of actualizing new ideas, can bring peace in this world and can find innovative ways to solve the challenges of climate change and save this planet Earth. I wish good luck to all of the participants. I thank you all. May Allah be with us in our great initiatives. Joy Bangla, Joy Bangabandhu. May Bangladesh live long.
Thank you very much indeed. Special guest at the ceremony, Honorable Foreign Minister Dr. A.K. Abdul Momen MP, for your kind words. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Chairperson of the launching ceremony of Bangabandhu Global Youth Leadership Award, may I have the pleasure to call upon Honorable State Minister, Ministry of Youth and Sports, Mr. Mohammad Zahid Ahsan Russell MP, to please share with us his experience on hosting this event. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable State Minister, Mr. Zahid Ahsan Russell MP.
Bismillahir Rahman Rahim. The chief guest of today's program, His Excellency Mr. Muhammad Abdul Hamid, Honorable President of the People's Republic of Bangladesh. Special guest Dr. A.K. Abdul Momen MP, Honorable Minister, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Bangladesh. Mr. Taha Ihan, Honorable President of Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum, ICYF. Mr. Abdul Al Islam Jacob MP, Honorable Chairman, Parliamentary Standing Committee, Ministry of Youth and Sports. Mr. Mohammad Akhtar Hussain, Senior Secretary, Ministry of Youth and Sports. Honorable guests, my colleagues from different ministries, excellencies, participants from Bangladesh and the world, youth delegates, media persons, and everyone virtually connected with us. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good afternoon to you all. Distinguished guests, at the beginning of my speech, I would like to commemorate with profound respect the greatest Bengali of all time. Liz was a charismatic leader with a great heart. He was an ideal example of a selfless human being, as he was ready to sacrifice anything on the way of accomplishing the emancipation of his people. We are now an independent nation, and this independence we achieved at the cost of his costly sacrifice and dedication of his entire life. The father of the nation thought about his country, about his people more than anything else. He felt the sufferings of his people and planned a way out where he received utmost support of his people. When the time came, millions of people stepped up responding to his call of independence. People came up with anything they had when Bangabandhu asked them in his historic 7th March speech. Believing in the leadership of Bangabandhu, they sacrificed their lives to liberate the country, knowing that this is the only way toward independence. Distinguished guests, under the prudent leadership of the daughter of Bangabandhu, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, Bangladesh is advancing towards prosperity. Earlier this year, Bangladesh has become a developing nation by graduating from the list of LDC. By the year 2041, we are expecting to become a developed nation in the world. In this development process, our youth is playing a vital role. We representatives of the Ministry of Youth and Sports are committed to preparing huge demographic advantage of our country to incorporate them into the mainstream economy for nation building and realizing the dream of Golden Bengal by the father of the nation. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, you all are aware that more than 1 million of Rohingya refugees fled away from their ancestral home in the Rakhine state of Myanmar to Bangladesh for their brutal killing or ethnic cleansing, and our Prime Minister, Her Excellency Sheikh Hasina, admit them shelter in our overpopulated country. And as a result, the international media has dubbed Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina as the mother of humanity. In addition to Honorable Prime Minister has become a role model for the world leadership by taking various press oath decisions at the international level to fight the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. She is working persistently to ensure the life and livelihood of the people at the risk of his own life, even in the midst of the corona situation. Ladies and gentlemen, the name of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman holds a paramount significance for Bangladesh. A leader, statesman of such magnitude is rarity. The struggle for the emancipation of the people of Bangladesh is unprecedented in history. The speech delivered by him on 7th March 1971 is considered as one of the best speeches in the history of the world, which earned him the title of Poet of Politics. He has served imprisonment for his people time and again. We have witnessed his highest contribution for the cause of mother language movement, 6-point demand, the mass uprising of 69, the election of 70, and finally during the liberation war of Bangladesh. After the liberation, he shouldered the mountainous task of building the world-ravaged country. In every part of the world he traveled, he was received with high honor and elevated appreciation. Bangabandhu's visionary leadership was highly appreciated by the world leaders of that time. Cuban revolutionary leader and former Prime Minister of Cuba, Fidel Castro, remarked, quote, "I have not seen the Himalayas, but I have seen Sheikh Mujib. In personality and in courage, this man is the Himalayas," unquote. He has continuously strived to build a prosperous country free from hunger, poverty, and corruption. The history of Bangladesh is interwoven with the history of Bangabandhu. He wanted to give the people of Bangladesh a unique identity defined by its enriched culture, history, and heritage. Distinguished guests, Bangabandhu's glorious life and struggle serve as an eternal source of inspiration, not only for us, but also for freedom-loving people around the world. He was relentless in his pursuit of peace, progress, and development in the national and international landscape. It is known to all that Bangabandhu supported the cause of Palestine, Vietnam, and African nations. He wanted a peaceful and prosperous world. At the same time, he was in favor of humanity and against exploitation. That is why he said, quote, "The world today is divided into two parts, the exploiter and exploited. I am in favor of exploited," unquote. Former chairman of the Palestine Liberation Organization and Nobel Peace Prize winner Yasser Arafat said, quote, "The simplicity of Mujib characters was his uncompromising fighting leadership with a generous heart," unquote. After the sudden death of Bangabandhu, former Prime Minister of India, Indira Gandhi told, quote, "I am broken by the news of Sheikh Mujib's death. He was a great leader. His extraordinary heroism has been a source of inspiration for the people of Asia and Africa," unquote. This year is particularly very significant for us because we are celebrating the birth centenary of the father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, and Golden Jubilee of Independence simultaneously. In this auspicious moment, Bangladesh would like to recognize and award the young generation globally for their outstanding contribution in the field of innovation, environment, humanitarianism, sports, culture and arts, entrepreneurships. Bangabandhu Global Youth Leadership Award is the reflection of our love and respect towards Bangabandhu and to the youth. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we feel proud and honored to announce that this first time in the history of Bangladesh that we are introducing the international award naming Bangabandhu Global Youth Leadership Award with the kind permission of Honorable Prime Minister, Her Excellency Sheikh Hasina. Through this award program, we believe that youth of both Bangladesh and abroad will get a common platform where they will learn about Bangabandhu, his sacrifices, contribution towards Islam and world politics. We believe this event will inspire the youth around the world to learn from the life story of Bangabandhu and build themselves according to Bangabandhu's ideals and philosophy. Besides this, we are organizing various award programs in regular basis as we celebrate the success of our youth, encourage them to hold the spirit up, and foster them to be dedicated towards national prosperity. We have successfully organized 9 mega international events under the umbrella of Dhaka OIC Youth Capital 2020. We also have introduced Sheikh Hasina Youth Volunteer Award for the glorious contribution of the youth to COVID-19 pandemic affected people, which exhibits humanitarian aspect of the youth. Distinguished guests, before I conclude my speech, I extend my heartfelt thanks and gratitude to Honorable President, His Excellency Mr. Muhammad Abdul Hamid, for his kind consent and gracious presence as chief guest in the launching ceremony. Honorable President, your kind presence has elevated the image of the program and the country as well to the world people and especially the world youth to the highest peak. I would like to convey my sincere thanks to the special guests, dignitaries, and everyone for joining today's launching program, Bangabandhu Global Youth Leadership Award. I would not miss the opportunity for thanking everyone involved in making this event a grand success. Thank you all. Joy Bangla, Joy Bangabandhu, may Bangladesh live forever.
Thank you very much indeed, Chairperson of the launching ceremony, Honorable State Minister, Minister of Youth and Sports, Mr. Mohammad Zahid Hassan Russell MP, for your thoughtful speech. Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I have the honor to invite the chief guest of the launching ceremony of Bangabandhu Global Youth Leadership Award, Honorable President of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, His Excellency Mr. Muhammad Abdul Hamid, to please enrich us with his wise words and inspiring speech. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable President, His Excellency Mr. Muhammad Abdul Hamid.
Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Honorable Minister, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Dr. A.K. Abdul Momen, MP. Honorable State Minister, Ministry of Youth and Sport, Mr. M.D. Zahid Hassan Russell, MP. Honorable President of Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum, Mr. Taha Ehan, Mr. Abdullah Al-Islam Jacob, MP, Chairman of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Youth and Sports. Respected Senior Secretary, Ministry of Youth and Sports, Mr. MD Akhtar Hussain. Participants, youth ambassadors, volunteers, and all dignitaries. Representatives from print and electronic media, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon to you all. At the outset, I recall with profound respect the greatest Bengali of all time, father of the nation, Bangabandhu, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. I pay my deepest tribute to our four national leaders and valiant freedom fighters who made supreme sacrifices for the sake of our independence. I also recall the contributions of our foreign friends and supporters during the War of Liberation in 1971. It is my immense pleasure to be here on this special occasion among all the representatives of the youth and such an enthusiastic and energized audience. Today, we all have gathered here on the occasion of the launching ceremony of Bangabandhu Global Youth Leadership Award with the purpose to recognize the efforts of the youth both of our country and all over the world in different fields. Naming this event after father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, itself serves a meaningful purpose. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, who was born in Tungipara in Gopalganj district, was a great man and from his childhood was very kind but uncompromising in attaining the rights. In his long successful political career, Bangabandhu led all democratic and freedom movement, including all-party state language action committee in 1948, language movement in 1952, Jukta Front election in 1954, movement against martial law in 1958, six-point movement in 1966, mass upsurge in 1969, and general election in 1970. The great leader was sent to jail several times and had to bear inhuman sufferings for his active participation in those movements. Despite manifold challenges, he did never compromise with the Pakistani rulers on the question of establishing the rights of Bengalis. On March 7, 1971, he delivered the historic 7th March speech. UNESCO has recognized the 7th March speech of Bangabandhu as part of the world's documentary heritage and included it in the memory of the World International Register. While the Newsweek magazine in its April 5, 1971 issue termed Bangabandhu as the poet of politics for his historic address. On the fateful night of March 25, when Pakistani invaders swooped on the innocent and unarmed Bengalis, the father of the nation proclaimed the long-cherished independence on 26th March in 1971. We achieved the ultimate victory on December 16, 1971, through a 9-month armed struggle under the leadership of Bangabandhu. Ladies and gentlemen, I consider myself very fortunate that I was a close aide of the father of the nation and was a part of the journey. As we are celebrating the birth centenary of the great man and the golden jubilee of our independence, I would urge the youth of the world to take lessons from the ideals and works of Bangabandhu and devote yourself to serve your respective country and its people just like Bangabandhu did. Distinguished guests, Bangladesh has made some great social and economic progress in recent times as the government led by Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, what the daughter of the father of the nation is putting relentless efforts to realize Bangabandhu's dream of a golden Bengal. Bangladesh is moving forward at an irresistible pace on the highway of development to attaining the status of a developing country in the globe, and if this speed of progress of sustainable development continues, Bangladesh will turn into a developed and prosperous country by 2041. Today, the whole world, including Bangladesh, is fighting against the corona pandemic. The government of Bangladesh has been making all-out efforts to contain the corona situation. Arrangements have been made to bring all the citizens of the country under vaccination in phases. Despite the negative impact of the corona pandemic on the world economy due to the timely and courageous step taken by Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, the government has been able to maintain the economic growth by countering the effects of corona. Distinguished guests, the key factor that has been helping the government to achieve all the success is the youth taking the responsibilities and making contribution in all sectors. I would like to mention that Bangladesh is now enjoying demographic dividend. 1/3 of its total population is youth force. The government, especially the Ministry of Youth and Sports, has been relentlessly working to utilize the potentials of this huge youth force and to accomplish the vision of making Bangladesh a developed nation. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we all know Bangladesh joined the Organization of Islamic Cooperation in 1974 with the vision to keep close and peaceful relations with all the Muslim countries. Since then, Bangladesh has been playing instrumental role in different activities of OIC as in promoting peace and keeping healthy social and economic relationships, aligning with the general interests of Muslim Ummah. OIC Youth Capital, a brainchild of the Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum, is a yearly gathering of the youth of the Muslim world that constitute 1/3 of the entire Muslim population of the OIC region. This mega event aims to bring the Muslims youth together through different activities, conferences, conventions, festivals, and other special events designed for the youth. Ladies and gentlemen, Islamic Cooperation Youth Forum declared our capital city Dhaka as the OIC Youth Capital 2020. On 15 December 2019, which has marked a significant recognition for the recent developments and achievements of Bangladesh in the youth sector. I believe that Dhaka OIC Youth Capital 2020 has increased immensely the significance of the Mujibur and the Golden Jubilee celebration of our independence. I congratulate the organizers, the Ministry of Youth and Sports, the OIC, Islamic Cooperation, Youth Forum, and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Bangladesh on successfully organizing a mega event like this. I wish all our success of the purpose of this event. Stay well and healthy, everyone. May Allah be with us. Joy Bangla, Khuda Hafiz, may Bangladesh live forever. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Eternal gratitude, sincerest thanks. Chief guest of the launching ceremony, Honorable President of the People's Republic of Bangladesh, His Excellency Mr. Muhammad Abdul Hamid, for your thoughtful directives and inspiring words. Ladies and gentlemen, now an audio-visual on the insights of Bangabandhu Global Youth Leadership Award 2020. May I invite you all to watch the audio-visual and have an overview on the competition.
সাত কোটি মানুষকে দাবায় রাখতে পারবো না এবারে সংগ্রাম আমাদের মুক্তির সংগ্রাম এবারে সংগ্রাম স্বাধীনতার সংগ্রাম
The Voice moved 75 million people for independence.
জয় বাংলা
Bengali people named him Bangabandhu, the friend of Bengal. He said, as a man, what concerns mankind concerns me. As a Bengali, I am deeply involved in all that concerns Bengalis. This abiding involvement is born of and nourished by love, enduring love, which gives meaning to my politics and my very being. The icon of simplicity and personality, he is always a true inspiration. The Newsweek titled him as the poet of politics. His lifelong journey was for the people, for freedom and rights. Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was born on 17th March 1920 at Tungipara, Gopalganj. A true leader since childhood, he was devoted for the betterment of the people. He led the language movement, and at the age of only 34, he became the youngest minister of Pakistan. In 1966, he declared the 6-point demand that set the path to a new nation. In 1969, he named his beloved country Bangladesh. In 1970, he unanimously won the general election of Pakistan, but yet again, he was refused power. Then he said, I do not want to be Prime Minister. I want the rights of my people. And thus, the day of historic 7th March comes. He spoke for the future of their own, commenced the end of oppression, and affirmed the world that this nation will win, all win.
এবং তোমাদের যা কিছু আছে তাই নিয়ে প্রস্তুত থাকো মনে রাখবা রক্ত যখন দিয়েছি রক্ত আরো দেব এই দেশের মানুষকে মুক্ত করে ছাড়বো ইনশাআল্লাহ
A fight for freedom by general people against a disciplined Pakistani army was driven with one core spirit, with one slogan of millions, Joy Bangla. A nation was born, and upon heroic return from imprisonment, he began the journey of Golden Bengal. Bangabandhu declared the philosophy and goal of the new nation to the world at the United Nations General Assembly and the OIC Conference in 1974. He once said, "My strength is that I love my people. My weakness is I love them too much." And conspirators used that weakness. In 1975, Bangladesh lost his father of the nation. World lost a true symbol of freedom. But his indomitable spirit prevails as today Bangladesh again rises in the hands of the daughter of Bangabandhu, Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. And the 53 million youth of Bangladesh is the key to achieve developed Bangladesh. This year, Bangladesh is celebrating the birth centenary of the father of the nation and also celebrating the golden jubilee of independence as the nation moves forward to achieve the Golden Bengal under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. It's the best time to know the life of Bangabandhu, to realize the meaning, true leadership. This year, for the youth of the world, as part of the Dhaka OIC Youth Capital 2020, Ministry of Youth and Sports, Government of the People's Republic of Bangladesh brings Bangabandhu Global Youth Leadership Award. Leadership of the youth of the world will be recognized in 5 categories: innovation, climate response, humanitarianism, sports, culture and arts, entrepreneurship. The winner from each category will receive prize money of $2,000. Wield the indomitable youthful spirit of Bangabandhu and walk path of greatness, inspiring to impact.
Youth leadership
7 কোটি মানুষকে দাবার
and that
রাখতে
brings us to
পারবো
the
না।
end of the show. But before we Bangabandhu Global Youth Leadership Award on behalf of the organizing ministry, the Ministry of Youth and Sports, allow me to thank you all for your lively participation with us here today. We conclude the program with permission from the Honorable President.
event
Recording
is being
in
held
progress.
also while I'm a member of the ICYF General Assembly, and we're doing these steps onwards to Europe. We have to be aware that Muslim people are not living only in Asia or Africa, but also in Europe, North and South America, Australia also. If we want to have a good strategic planning and good anticipation of our future and the decisions we have to take, it is necessary to know our